Tisk, tisk, tisk. Some 49ers players already throwing some disrespect at the New York Jets. Very interesting. We'll talk about it here on the show. Let's roll.
Zoinks! It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Hey, what's poppin', everybody? Paul Aston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. And we got plenty of content to get to. I'll also give you guys a little bit of a tease. We'll have a couple of guests over the next couple of days. Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic joins us live on Boy Green Daily tomorrow morning. On Friday morning, Antoine Staley of the New York Daily News joins us live. I want to get these reporter nuggets from the guys that were there at the open media OTA practice to give us the juicy deeds on the latest players. We have a couple of insiders that will be joining us over the next couple of days. Plus, I'm pretty sure my father's going to join us live on the show on Saturday. So a phenomenal show to come over the coming days. But today we got to start in an area that, quite frankly, was a bit odd, a bit particular. And it happened on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams. San Francisco 49ers cornerback Charvarius Ward had a comment about Garrett Wilson. And let's roll it. Let's play the quick clip. Here we go. Let's roll the footage.
How do you pick off Aaron Rodgers? What's the secret?
He gotta get my opportunity. I'm pretty sure I'm probably gonna be following Garrett Wilson around. That's his name, right?
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna follow Garrett around. So he they big dog. I'm the big dog in the city. So we gonna see Miss K.
That's his name, right? Garrett Wilson. Interesting. Wow. That's interesting. That he does not know Garrett Wilson's name or is making fun, like a joke, that he doesn't know Garrett Wilson's name. You know, before I get into Charvarius Ward specifically, I'll just say in a greater sense, I don't think a lot of people know how good Garrett Wilson is. And that's okay, because he's going to show them all this season. But there's so many people that disrespect Garrett Wilson. They see the numbers, which, by the way, are spectacular for Garrett Wilson, quite frankly. I mean, when I was looking up these numbers for Garrett, because I knew them in my head, but when you add them up together and kind of put the 2 years of production together, I think one area that Garrett Wilson doesn't get enough credit for, Garrett Wilson has appeared in 34 out of 34 possible games. His attendance is 100%. So I think that's a nugget we don't say enough, which is true. He's caught 178 receptions for 2,145 yards and 7 touchdowns. Like, man. And that has been with some of the most horrific quarterback play we've seen. No question about it. So for Garrett to put up those kind of numbers, and they could be better, of course. And I think they will be a lot better with Aaron Rodgers. I just, oh boy. It just feels odd to take shots. But I will say, in a greater sense, I think a lot of people just don't know how good he is, and that's fine, because he's going to show people that with competent quarterback play, and I believe that's a bare minimum what we'll get with Aaron Rodgers, but competent, like average. And I think there's a chance to get above average. I think there's a chance to get top 10 quarterback play at Aaron Rodgers. But even if you just get competent, Garrett Wilson is going to show a different level than we've seen. So, and can I be frank? I just, it's just something that kind of eats at me a little bit. So Charvarius Ward, which, by the way, that would be a name that would be more so. Is that his name? I don't even know. His parents didn't just go, we got John Ward here. They went Charvarius. So that one's the one that's a little bizarre. But anywho, that's neither here nor there. Here's the thing. A little bit of a, if I can, a whisper. Come here. So Charvarius Ward kind of joked that he didn't know Garrett Wilson's name, right? If I can give him a little bit of advice. Charvarius, if the 49ers told you your assignment of who you're covering in week 1, like 4 months before the game, you should probably know his fucking name. Maybe, I normally don't like to swear on the show, but, maybe that's it. If they gave you your assignment 4 months in advance, maybe that's for a reason. Because Garrett Wilson's good. Maybe that's it. And that you would be shadowing Garrett Wilson. I don't know. Maybe that's a reason to remember someone's name. But that's perhaps neither here nor there. But there's been a lot of trash talk. Charvarius Ward went after Sauce Gardner too. Here's what he said about Sauce. This was a tweet talking about Sauce. Here it is. We got a screenshot here. Shout out to you, Stadium. He was responding to Sauce Gardner on social media. This is what Charvarius said, quote, "Boy, yo ass ain't never sniffed the playoffs. You watching from the couch. Worry about the sorry-ass Jets. Everybody got something to say about the team in the Super Bowl. Your opinion doesn't need to be heard, kid," end quote. Yo ass never sniffed the playoffs, watching from the couch, sorry-ass team, and your opinion doesn't matter. And then the ultimate insult, kid. Little fella, little guy. Oh, sorry, your opinion? Okay. Here we go. There's some extra juice. There's some extra chutzpah here. You want to poke the bear, pal? You think the Jets are this little team coming in, this little brother coming in San Francisco? Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, the 49ers, no matter what happens over this offseason, they're going to be the favorite in that game. At home, NFC champions, just were in the Super Bowl? Sure. Yeah. The 49ers will be the favorite. So all the pressure's on them to deliver against the Jets, this upstart team. Let's see what they do against the Jets. But okay. I like it. I like the extra juice. Bring it on, baby. Bulletin board material. If I'm Saleh, and they have all their own 49ers connections. Obviously, Saleh was the 49ers DC from 27 through 2020. Jeff Ulbrich was a player for the 49ers for a decade. He spent his entire NFL career with the 49ers. Like, there's a lot of 49ers ties, former players. Solomon Thomas, Javon Kinlaw. I mean, go through the list. There's 49ers strewn throughout this roster. But okay, plenty of extra juice, though. Yeah, Jared B. Oh, he tried to walk it back. I know he tried to walk back the Sauce thing. I don't know if I heard anything about the Garrett, but it doesn't matter. Once you put it in the universe, there's no putting that genie back in the bottle. Is that his name? That's a clear, direct shot. Because you wouldn't be saying that about, I don't know. I'm going to use like a legendary name, but like Calvin Megatron Johnson. Who's that? Is that his name? Yeah. That's dick move, pal. Dick move. It's a dick comment right there. That's his name, right? That got my blood boiling when I heard about that one. I tweeted that one out. I was like, ooh, okay. We got a full column, by the way, in the YouTube description down below. And we have some of the transcripts and other comments and things of that nature. But I just can't wait because the number one thing, of course, is last year we won 7 games, and that's dandy. Obviously, I preferred more. But in every game, when the team put a touchdown or 10 points on the board, I'm like, boy, how did the Jets get there? Like, those are the things that go through your mind. You're like, hey, Billy, how is this going to happen? And now we no longer have to worry about any of those things with Aaron Rodgers and some more improved weaponry and all these other things. So, beautiful. So let's rev the engine, baby. Phenomenal. Stoke the friggin' flames, as far as I'm concerned. That is brilliant. Also, I the NBA, I give a personal thank you to the Indiana Pacers for winning that game at the end of regulation. Thank you. That was funny. They gave the Celtics so many chances, and then Jaylen Brown for the 3 to tie up the game, and great defense at the end on Jason Tatum, on Tyrese Halliburton. No, sir. And then booyah. The Celtics stole victory out of the jaws of defeat. And what a no, baby. I'll tell you, sweat a few bullets there at the end that looked a little questionable. For all the people that left TD Garden early, come on, man, and were forced to walk outside. Dumb. I'm telling you, in jail, we went over this a couple weeks ago, but I might as well bring it back up. If I pay for a ticket, I'm going to be there in a regular season game like normal, just normal stuff. You know, playoff game, you're spending hundreds or thousands of dollars on tickets, and you walk out early. What an idiot! You deserve this stuff, you nincompoops. So unbelievable. Dumb. D-U-M-B. Dumb. But thank you, Pacers, for blowing that. Really appreciate it. A nice little wake-up call there. Beautiful. Let's go through some comments here. William says, Jets 23, Niners 18. We'll start slow, but finish in a flurry. Okay, sign me up. And he says, Knicks are out of my basketball. Watching is over. I'm sorry, pal. All right. Sorry, pal. Oh, my internet's bad? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Audio's a bit off. Yeah. Also, I feel like my entire studio is so much shifted. I feel like I'm leaning on a side of a table here. So my setup might have been a little weird. My setup might have been a little weird. So sorry for any of that. No one should be in my house on the internet. So there should be no reason why internet's bad. So apologize for any of the technical difficulties that may be happening here. Paul, do you have the stats for Rodgers yesterday? I know 7-on-7 still. I don't think I had any of the 11-on-11 stuff. I don't think I had any of that. So only the 7-on-7 stuff, I believe, is the only stats that we have. Which, by the way, I can pull that up real quick. We had, for people wondering about those stats, I think we talked about it on the Boy Green Meets Woody show, but let me see. Connor Hughes called him surgical yesterday. Here are the official stats from Zach Rosenblatt. I do have some of the team drill stuff, sorry. 8 for 10 in team drills. He had touchdown passes to Xavier Gibson and Garrett Wilson. He was 5 for 5 and 7-on-7. So there you go. 8 for 10 in team drills, 5 for 5 and 7-on-7. The team drills being your close to 11-on-11 action. So there you go. There is your guys' update on the statistics. Rodgers looked awesome, which, like I said, is a great sign if he's looking awesome in May. Let's see. Let's also give, because I see my mother's in here. Let's see. I just saw her message earlier. She said good morning. Oh, there she is. Good morning. And also a happy birthday to my father, who turns 21 again. Yeah, shout out to him. He turns 21 again. We will be seeing him over the weekend, but happy birthday to my old man. Yeah, it is his birthday today, May 22nd. So give a shout out to him. And like I said, he'll be joining us live on the show, I do believe, coming up on Saturday, which is great. NC says, Greenlaw probably starts, Dre Greenlaw probably starts the year on PUP, big loss for the 49ers. And then the Hufanga guy, I might be mispronouncing his name because I don't remember it or don't have it in front of me. There's a few injuries at the tail end of the season that some of those guys might not be ready for the beginning, which could work out very nicely for the Jets. That was Woody yesterday. That's right. 3:00 normally every Tuesday, Thursday. Although yesterday we had to adjust the Aaron Rodgers presser, but normally 3:00 every Tuesday, Thursday live. Card Cave Central says bulletin board material. That's all it is. Give us all the smoke. Week 1, 130 yards, 2 tutties. Book it. I'm looking forward to that Garrett Wilson tweet, Breaking Bad style. Say my name. Say my name. I am like so ready for that tweet to hit. No doubt about it. No doubt. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rodgers has been coming in blazing. He looked great. Yep, Paul cussed. I do it every once in a while for dramatic effect. There you go. And that's the thing I don't get, though. Like, he's like playing a joke like he doesn't know his name. If the 49ers told you your assignment in May, I'm pretty sure he's someone you should know his name. But that's neither here nor there, I suppose. That is odd. Phil, if the Celtics don't win in this watered down playoffs, forget it. Yeah, it's a great path, and hoist to banner number 18, baby. Peter Campisi says Ward will be seeing Wilson all day as he's trying to catch him. Hope so. Let's see. I don't have all the passes broken out of who he threw it to. That info I don't have. I do not have those stats. Hey, BG, FYI, my son had a reveal 10 years ago that went wrong. Opposite sex happened. Do you mean like, let's say you have a cake and you cut it and it's blue and you celebrate a son and then it ends up being a girl? Like the doctors or the bakery or whatever messed up? If that's what you mean, that would be, I don't want to say terrible. I mean, that would just be like, whoa. That would be weird because, like, I just saw that they had a boxing fight or something where they had, and NC says, yes, that was it. Oh, that's brutal. But I just saw they had a boxing fight where they're like, here's the scorecards, Johnny this, Johnny this, Johnny this, and then Paul is the winner. And I'm like, woo, I'm the winner. This is great. And then all of a sudden they're like, wait, everybody gather back around. And they're like, huh? And I read the scorecard, said, actually, it was Johnny who won, not Paul. And then I'm like, what? So I just saw that that went viral like a week or two ago. Whatever, I think it was female boxing. I think it might have been male boxing. I'm not sure, but either way, I saw that clip go viral on social media where they butchered the final. That was not great. But I will be honest, we already have names picked out whether it's a boy or a girl. So I'm kind of, it's not like I'm buying girl or boy stuff ahead of time. So whatever happens, I'm set up for. I mean, I guess I'm more set up for a girl because I already have a 2-year-old daughter, so I have all her clothes technically for hand-me-down apps. But yeah, wow, that's terrible though. Hopefully that does not happen. But hopefully that does not happen. All right, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines, baby. We got 200 plus people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, super chats, skip the queue. So feel free to jump in on that, or the Boy Green Super Fan Club. That's also another way to get involved on the program. Let's bring this video link up here on the show. Let's go. Let's see here. Here we are. I can't believe Charvarius Ward. Unbelievable. All right. Video link to join. All right. Let's drop that right in there. Beautiful. If you guys would like to join the show, that is now the pinned message on YouTube. That is youtube.com/boygreen25. And by the way, I just got a notification in here. Can't believe you did that podcast yesterday about Justin Jefferson being in New Jersey. What a waste of time. Who cares? You didn't really meet with the Jets. 0% chance the Jets trade for him. I'm sorry, David Clark, whoever you are. I apologize for the episode that you did not enjoy about Justin Jefferson yesterday. Thought it would be fun to dabble in the middle of May. So sorry that the content didn't rev your engine. Sorry. I guess they can't all be home runs. Anywho, let's jump to the phone lines. We've got plenty of callers in here. We'll start off this time with our boy Easy Baby here on the program. What's up, brother?
How you doing, man? I had internet connection problems yesterday.
Oh, okay. That was it. Yeah, because I kept going to you, and then something was happening with your camera. So that's okay. Apparently, I've been having camera problems today. So.
Yeah, well, I was down over on that side of the lot and didn't have a signal. Anyway,
that's okay.
What's the name of this San Francisco defensive back who's been talking smack?
Charvarius Ward.
Charvarius Ward, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wait till Malachi Corley catches a pass and runs his fucking ass over.
I hope so.
I hope he stiff arms him into his grave, man.
Yeah, he's been trash talking a lot. Like I said, he went after Sauce earlier this offseason. He went after Garrett Wilson here. He just talks a lot of crap, and I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
literally can't wait for Malachi Corley to catch a pass and stiff arm, grab this guy's face mask and pull his helmet off his head and beat him with the wet end.
That'd be awesome. I can't wait for this week one. Week one can't get here soon enough.
Don't you know you don't talk smack? I mean, don't they realize that the Jets would have had the number one defense if they would have had anybody but those 3 Keystone Cops as quarterback last year?
100%. 100%.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to make this short because I'm just enjoying listening to the show, and maybe Bobby will come on and crack me up.
That's possible. It's always a good bet.
Oh, man, he's so hysterical.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, he's Saul Rosenberg.
Oh, that's funny.
Did you ever watch the Jerky Boys?
Yeah.
Oh, he is definitely Saul Rosenberg, man. Holy shit.
I now see him in a different light. That's funny.
God. He don't see too good and his feet hurt, and he's got boils on his ass and all sorts of things.
Oh, that's funny.
It's so freaking funny.
All right. Well, we'll see if he comes on the show. I appreciate the call, Easy.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Enjoy all the trucking out there. All right. Let's go to him. Up here he is. It is Bobby with his brand new Jake Asman Jets hat on.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, that's nice. It's very crisp. I like the color. It pops. Yeah, it's very nice.
Yeah, I like it. Do you like it? He's a nice guy.
Who's that?
The guy who you just talked to.
Oh, yeah. Easy. Yeah. He's a nice guy.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very nice guy. Compared to somebody I don't like, you know who that is.
Yeah, I do not see him in the call line yet, but
Thank God. I hope he doesn't show his. But, I don't need this. We had a great time on Nick Shine's show yesterday. We stayed up till late.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
We were almost till like 1:30 in the morning.
Wow. Okay, that's past my bedtime. I stayed up for the Celtics game, and then I hit the sack.
Yeah, I'm happy for you, Celtics. Let's go, Celtics.
Yeah, that was nice. That was a fun game. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate the Pacers. I think the Celtics are gonna win another championship. So
We can only hope.
you have no problem. I don't see you having a problem beating those smelly.
Yeah, I
boys.
mean, it got a little dicey yesterday, but maybe that was a scare the Celtics needed. We'll see.
Yeah, that Ward guy better pipe down. I hope, like Easy said, he'll just run over him and then Sauce. You can't put people down like that and
Yeah,
not
he's
accept.
weird. I don't know.
Yeah, he's very weird, like Allen.
Yeah.
So I think the Jets are gonna have a great year this year.
We can only hope, baby.
Is it your dad's birthday today?
It is. Yeah, it's my dad's birthday
He's my
today.
age. He's not 21. He's my age.
Wait, he's been telling me that every birthday for the last couple of years has been his 21st birthday over and
Yeah,
over again.
because we don't like getting old. That's why he's saying that.
I get it.
But I
That makes
remember
sense.
he's my age, like same exact age.
Wow. Okay. So how old is
Because
that?
I'm gonna be 56 in
Wow.
August.
That's up there.
Yeah, he's like you're in your 30s, right?
Yeah. I just turned 31 in April. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're about that time. Hey, did you get a chance to see Equalizer yet?
Oh, I've not seen Equalizer, and I did not catch the Jake Asman part yet. I was running around yesterday. I got to carve out the time for that too. The whatever that was with someone beefing about something.
Oh, you mean Scott Foster?
Maybe that was it. I don't know.
Well, me and Alan.
There was a
me
boy
and
green
Alan.
mention on Jake Asman yesterday, and I haven't gotten a chance
Oh
to go back.
yeah, that was with. I remember when Alan told you to lift your right
Oh
hand
yeah,
up.
yeah,
and
right.
what
Dexterity or
authority-
something. Yeah,
Dexterity, yeah. And he had an evil smile on his face, didn't he?
yeah. He made a Jalen Brunson broken hand joke.
Yep. Then he goes before in Jake's chat one time. He wrote, Mitchell down. Who's next? So
Jeez.
he's a very evil little cartoon character.
Yeah.
So I'll talk to you tomorrow then, okay?
All right.
Good.
Can't wait, Bobby. Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
nice hat. Very nice. That is a very nice hat. I like it. All right, let's go. A new streak is alive for this young man. That is B-Mac joining us here on the show. What's up, brother?
Hey, Poi Bar Green. Good morning to you. Beautiful morning, beautiful day.
Hey, what happened there? Your TV's not on. What's going on?
It's off.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's normally on. I'm normally getting double entertainment from you, B-Mac. I'm getting your wise words of wisdom and then some TV show.
I decided to turn it off. You know. What I mean?
Okay. I respect that.
Don't want to waste the cable. Yeah. Don't want to waste the cable bill. So
yeah, that's a smart man. Yeah.
And it's a little punishment for Mr. Allen. You know.
I see.
There's
not a lot of fans of Allen right now. Bobby, you. Oh boy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he wants to see Mariska from Raw in Order, and I said no, you don't deserve it because you've been bad. You know what I mean? So you got your own TV, Allen. Watch it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I like that.
As far as this, this cornerback dude, this no name hack, who cares, man? Let the opposing players talk. Let them run their mouths. Because the Jets are not talking. The Jets are working and grinding right now. You know what I mean? The Jets are going to do their talking on the football field when the AR8 throws for breaks the passing touchdown record for 8 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and all 8 of them go to Garrett Wilson, and they embarrass them the Niners in week 1.
By the way, if that happens, Garrett Wilson would get more touchdowns in that game than he's had in his first 2 years of his career combined, which, by the way, I fully endorse. Great. Yes.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah. So just let him talk, do like that. Because like I said, the Jets are going to be not just week 1 off season. Jets are going to do the talking on the football field. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Then the other thing is, this is about Rodgers. The first thing is 2 questions I want to ask you about Rodgers.
Sure. Yeah.
You watched his press conference yesterday.
I saw most of it. I still have to catch up. I finished. I got Saleh, Ulbrich, Hackett, and then the second half of Rodgers. So I got most of Rodgers, but I still got to finish that today.
Yeah. They asked him about they asked him about the whole VP thing.
I saw that. Yeah.
Kennedy. And he said that his response was that he has talked to him and all that stuff and had conversation with him, and he said there was 2 options: retire and be his VP running mate, or keep playing. And he said he wants to keep playing. Does that concern you that he was 1 foot in and 1 foot out and dipping his toe into doing that with him? Does that bother you a little bit?
That's a good question. I will say, Roger said that it was real in this press conference. I saw that part too, that he said it was a real thing he was considering, but he wanted to still play football, so he didn't. It's a hypothetical, but if Aaron Rodgers would have ended his Jets career to pursue a political career and the only tenure would have been the blown Achilles 4 steps in, that would have been a tough thing to get over. I will be honest. That would be the most Jets thing ever if that would have happened. Thankfully, it did not. So, no, I'm not worried about it now, oh, wow, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Because if I had that take, I would have had to have that same take with the darkness retreat when he said he was 90% retired. And I didn't feel that way then, and I don't feel that way now. To me, he's a human being. So the shadow thing, dark. I was doing Jake Asman Shadow Realm. The darkness thing, where he said he went in 90% retired, and then he, recaptured I really do want to do this, and found the edge and things of that nature. I'm totally fine with him thinking of being a human being. It's the off season; he can consider other options, and at the end of the day, regardless of whatever the percentage was, he was 90% in to be the VP or 50% or whatever. The fact of the matter is he didn't choose it, and he's the Jets quarterback. So, no, I'm not concerned about that stuff. Because like I said, if I was, you would have had to have the same concerns about the 90% retired stuff, and I did not.
Yeah, and I just think that a lot of people today are going to hear that, and they're going to, go after him and saying that, he's not all in. He's not committed. he was thinking about leaving his teammates high and dry to go do a political career. And I because the haters and the national media, every single thing Roger says, that they're gonna take it and make it big news and all that.
I already saw that yesterday. People were making it big news. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I believe we're going to see even more of it from people saying that. So it's something when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback, you either have to be okay with or not. To me, none of that stuff is ever going to matter to me if he's throwing touchdown passes. He can do all the podcasts he wants. He can talk about this, that, up, down, purple, blue, orange. I don't give a flying hoot what he talks about. If he scores touchdowns, none of us care. If he's not and he's playing poorly, then a lot of us are going to focus in on things like that of the extracurricular activity. So hopefully that doesn't have to happen because, like I said, hopefully he's just killing it.
Yeah, and then and the one thing too that I can't really blame Rodgers on, that he is 40. He had a lot of success in the NFL. If he was like a young buck, you know what I mean, like Jordan Love is right now, and he was offered this job, then yeah, why not? I mean, no, don't take it because your career is just getting started. You got a whole career ahead of you. But since Rodgers, since he's been in the league for 20 years, has a bunch of success, he's 40 years old. He's like, look, I accomplished everything I need to do in my career. You know what I mean? I'm at the tail end of my career anyway. Maybe it won't be a bad idea if I, be interested in this and see what I can do as things outside of football. So you can't really blame him for wanting to have like one has some interest in doing something different outside of football. But again, what matters is he's a Jet quarterback, and that's all that matters. And he's locked in and he's ready to go. So
yeah. And what's your other Aaron Rodgers question? Go ahead.
All right. Sorry. I didn't want to take long, but.
No, that's okay.
Yeah. And then my other question is, this is about how he's going to perform coming off the Achilles injury.
Yeah.
I heard this from I watched Will and I watched Zach Rosenblatt.
Yes, I heard he had him on his show. Yeah.
Yeah, and they said about Rodgers, they brought up Kirk Cousins not Kirk Cousins, but Kirk Cousins should be involved because he's a pocket passing, he's a statue. Mm-hmm. They brought up about Brady and Peyton Manning about them being statues, and they said if the Achilles injury happened to them, they wouldn't care because they can't move anyway. We all know Rodgers uses his athletic ability to scramble and use his feet. Again, he's not the running quarterback like Lamar or Josh Allen, but he does use his feet and scramble and make plays out the pocket. And even though he has been, to me, he's the most underrated pocket passer. You know what I mean? I mean, he's very good going in the pocket as well. And you saw that in his MVP on 2021. A lot of his throws are inside the pocket. But there was concern about could Rodgers' Achilles hinder him from using his strengths, using that he knows to do best, is scramble and get inside the pocket. Do you think that's a problem?
Yeah, I'll just real quick to answer that. Kurt Benkert joined EA, Eric Allen, the Jets senior reporter, after the season and talking about the Achilles, and he does not believe, and that's his former teammate, former Packers quarterback, who's also a few other places like the Atlanta Falcons and stuff, and he says no, because while he may not have the craziness of doing some of the stuff he does, he said all he needs to do is evade the first rusher, and he believes that he won't need that explosiveness like, again, some of those other more athletic dual threat quarterbacks that you mentioned. So he still believes it won't affect his game the way that it would have others. And I'll have to reshare that clip and grab it because I've heard some other people bring that up. But two good questions. Thanks for continuing the streak, B-Mac. And I appreciate the questions, pal.
I mean, thank you, Point Green.
Yeah, you bet, pal. B-Mac. All right, let's go quickly to Johnny Boy here. He's made a special request. Let's bring him on the show. He's got have you guys ever seen Cat in a Hat? Mrs. Kwan? He's kind of got the Mrs. Kwan glasses going on here. But okay, what's up, Johnny?
BG, what's going on, brother?
What's up, pal?
Hey, starting long snapper for the New York Jets content creator teams. Paul Boy Green Esden.
Yeah, that's
Jr.
Right. I appreciate I take great pride in that. So yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, Matt O'Leary put out his content creator starting lineup, I guess, offense, defense, special teams. And he's got some good stuff on there. I hope Matt does a video on that.
Yo, special teams wins games.
Yeah.
All right. That's the thing people don't understand.
Yeah.
Real quick, man, I wanted to come up here real fast. I got to run into the office today, but the whole crap with this dude and any team that's out there that is stating that they do not believe in what we're doing over here, please keep speaking. Bring the noise. Let Aaron Rodgers hear all that. Let Sauce Gardner hear that. Let Garrett Wilson hear that. They said the same thing last year, right? We were supposed, Sean Payton this, Philadelphia that. And look what happened in those games. So bring the noise. Cannot wait for it. We want all the smoke. It's smoke season, baby. We're going to be on the smoke tour with Snoop, Dr. Dre, bringing it back. Bring it, dude.
I love it, man.
Appreciate you, bro, and keep doing your thing. I just needed to come up here real quick and say that crap about this dude Ward talking all this junk and the Justin Jefferson conversation. It's May, right? And we're having Jets content every single day. What more were we supposed to talk about?
Yeah, and I thought it was trending. I thought people thought it was interesting. By the way, let me throw this on the screen real quick, Johnny. Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is right here?
Yo, is that the chick from the Friday After Next?
You're getting, it's a little bit from, there's Cat in the Hat. That's Mrs. Kwan right there. Yeah, there you go. You kind of have those glasses. They take up a lot of your face, but you can pull them off. Not many people can. I just wanted you to know that.
I got to hit him with the Kwan then. Hey, shout you out yesterday on the Woody episode that you were on with the fresh fade, bro. I never seen you without a hat, dog. I saw you, right, bro.
I don't wear it often, but I appreciate the respect there. I appreciate the love.
Hey, if my uncle comes on, Uncle VR and whatnot, he's another one that we always talk about, haircuts and fades and stuff like that. Let him tell you about his barber story. It's pretty dope.
Ooh,
so,
okay. Will do.
All right, bro, I appreciate
Thanks,
you,
pal.
dog.
All right. Enjoy your work at the office, pal. Good stuff there. All right. Well, since he gave the assist, let's put it in the stat sheet, baby. I told you that that's 100%. He's pulling off the Mrs. Kwan, Cat in the Hat. It's a. It's all good fun. Okay. Well, he gave the assist. Let's bring him in. T.O., Uncle VR here on the show. What's up, brother?
Good morning, Paul. How are you doing this morning?
Excellent, pal.
Awesome. So yeah, my nephew over there talking about my barbershop stories. When I was growing up, my mom, with her infinite wisdom, bought a Flowbee. I don't know if you remember what a Flowbee is.
That sounds familiar. Let me look that up.
It's a haircut machine that cuts your hair and at the same time takes the hair up like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh, yes, I remember this.
There was commercials, and I mean, it was like, the best thing since sliced bread at the time. So my mom, in her infinite wisdom, bought one to cut my hair and totally just jacked my hair up.
Oh, God.
So as a kid, when that happened, I just took it and cut everything else off and made it my mission to never have her cut my hair again, which promoted me to cutting my own hair and teaching myself how to cut my own hair, to the point where I was cutting my hair. People were noticing, asking me to cut their hair. And I actually grew up cutting hair in my neighborhood and working in barbershops and things like that. And it actually lasted all the way through undergrad. And undergrad actually helped me put me through undergrad. Cutting hair in barbershops and privately, in New York City for, whatever some odd years. So that's my story on that.
Well, I'll just tell you real quick, what a small world. So I go get a cut, get the beard taken care of and everything. And as I'm sitting in the barber shop here locally in Oswego, the guy that ends up cutting my hair just happens to be the owner, and I've known him for like 15 years or something. I've known him for a long time, and he has a son, and he was telling me that whether his son ultimately becomes a barber in the future or not, he's going to teach him the trade, because he said it's a quick way to make $20
Oh
on a
yeah.
singular note, and he said that can help you forever. If you're ever in a pinch, you ever need to do something, or you're just in a situation where you can help out a bunch of people, you can make a bunch of money, and it's just a solid base that you'll have forever, that you're always going to, well, I guess you won't always have hair for some of our less hair
Yeah.
enthusiast people, but for cutting other people, so like it's just a trade that you're always going to want. So yeah, it's it was a cool story to hear that. I'm like, wow. And then now we hear this here. It's full circle. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's it is a really good trade, and people who specialize it. I mean, like the stars, the athletes. I mean, like you can make in some cases $200 a pop for a haircut these days, like a specialized haircut.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I mean, it is really, really a good trade. I wanted to talk a little bit about yesterday and the Aaron Rodgers. I know this is a family show.
Of course.
Jet porn yesterday. Him, the video of him throwing the passes, the little sidearm action. I mean, it's so exciting, but I do have to admit that I have a little bit of Aaron Rodgers stress disorder from last year.
Sure.
And it's like, whether this is pertaining to your real life or a movie that you've seen,
Okay.
you're a young kid, teen spirit. You finally get the girl in high school who's the popular one.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's the end of the year and she has to go away to college. So you have to kind of like wait. And that's kind of what I feel like now. So now we're in 2024 in this season, and we're waiting for her to finally come home from college or from the missionary, whatever it is.
Right.
And that's how I equate this season, and just seeing him on film, just wanting to see the real thing. It was such a tease last year, seeing the real thing, seeing this, into fruition, reaching our goal with this man. I'm so excited. I mean, yeah, there it is right there. I mean, this is just, it's
Aaron
just
Rodgers.
beautiful.
It is. And for our audio only listeners, Aaron Rodgers slow motion throwing this nice Phillip Rivers like sidearm pass to Garrett Wilson, who, by the way, the dark visor is very nice, and so is the number 5 for that matter. And
I
nice
love that
little
5.
cut and scoot right, hit the brakes, hit him with it a little, and skips right into the end zone. Beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's a great way to put it, is jet porn, because that's what it is with Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball all over the place. Because I think Connor Hughes said it, and I think I put it in the article, is that it's just crazy for especially someone I'm sure like Connor Hughes that covers Jets teams over all these years, and he sees them in practice. And he watches like Zach Wilson, Sam Darnold skipping rocks across the palm of their throats. Ugh. All right, well, I guess that's quarterback play. And then Aaron Rodgers comes in, you're like, whoa, oh wait, that's what it's supposed to look like? Holy friggin' crap. These tight spirals and quick throws and tight windows. Oh, it's spectacular. I can't wait to see it once we get to the actual season. Like, it's, again, Monday Night Football is the perfect start. Throws back corner left end zone, Garrett Wilson touchdown. And it's just like 11:44 in the first quarter. Like, it was the first drive. It was just boom, 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 touchdown. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Oh, yeah. And it's like, if I can give another analogy, it's like wearing Walmart sneakers, Pro Keds or whatever the case may be for so many years. And you run them down in like 2 weeks and you have to buy another pair over and over and over again, these cheap pair. And then you get a pair of Jordans, or you get a pair of Nike Air Maxes or something like that. And then you put your feet in them and you're like, oh my God, is this what a quarterback is supposed to feel like? This is what it looks like. I mean, like, I'm getting all the attention, and it's like, that's the analogy I'd like to give. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is a class on its own. And like I said in the chat, the specter of Aaron Rodgers is better than any quarterback that we've had since Joe Cool.
100%.
Bar none, know. I did have one more point before I go.
Yes, sir, please. Yeah.
Sauce, so I believe it was Salah said that you may see Sauce traveling a little bit more.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on that? About Sauce traveling more this season.
Yeah,
Good
I
or
gotta
bad?
go find because Sauce, I guess it must have. I got to see where it was, but I heard it in the offseason. Someone said, "Oh, Paul, did you hear about that?" I'm like, "No, what are you talking about?" And Sauce did some podcast interview with somebody, may have been an ESPN thing, where he said, "Hey, I went to Ulbrich and asked to travel, and boy, you guys are going to see it this year or something." I was like, "Whoa, really interesting." It's
Yeah.
like Sal and them last year when the media asked Sal, like, "Oh man, a travel?" He's like, "No, that ain't happening." They're like, "Oh, okay, case closed. I guess that's over." So to hear Saul say it in the offseason, and then Sally yesterday was way more open than he's ever been. He's like, it won't be
Yeah.
exclusive, but he said, could we see it? Like possibly. He's kind of like cracking a smile. So I'm kind of like, ooh, wow, it sounds like we are going to see this. And he was talking
Might
about
be a
maximizing the
possibility.
asset. So, if you want to hear a crazy yelling match, me and Woody went back and forth. Woody does not want to see Sauce travel. I don't
Okay.
understand that perspective, to be honest. I try to have an open mind on any take and try to hear what the other person is saying. But I
Sure.
just feel like it can only help to have Sauce travel
Yeah.
because I hate when, again, I use the example of that Buffalo game I went to, whatever year that was, but there's been examples where like Sauce is on one side of the field and the other team knows it. They're like, oh man, we can't throw it to our favorite guy, whoever it is. Okay, let's flip him to the other side. No disrespect to DJ Reed, but he's just not Sauce Gardner. He's not the
Right.
number one corner in football. So
Right.
the other team went, all right, we'll flip him to the other side. If the Jets refuse to flip him, then this is my way of like not even factoring in Sauce into the equation. All right, he's on that side of the formation. I'm just going to go to the opposite side and do what I want over here. So I think it's very rigid how the Jets did it previously to just say, up, that's we refuse to adjust. We're not going to do it on more than like Salah said, they did some last year, but it was very minuscule how often that he shadowed or did those sort of things. So yeah, I'm all aboard. I love that the Jets are adapting here a bit. I want to see some of the traveling, 1,000%. So I'm fully on board. We'll have to do a deeper dive show on it to give it its proper love. But 100%. That was awesome to see.
Yeah, and just a quick take from me.
Yes, please.
I think as Jets fans, we're a little spoiled, right? Because we've seen, Revis, 10 years ago, Revis Island, him man-to-man coverages, even Cromartie, to a certain extent. So we're a little spoiled, in regards to seeing that. But, in the time that we've seen that in the past till now, the offenses have changed and the defensive schemes have changed. So you really don't see a lot of like man coverages anymore, across the board in the NFL. So putting Sauce in a situation like that, I think is going to be on a case by case basis. It's not going to be an all game thing. It's never going to be an all game thing. No. It's going to be a case by case basis when the need comes to it. And you may see it in more cases where, like the playoffs and things of that nature, because, of certain moments that, third down, we need a stop. You put your best guy on your best guy and you let it ride. Those kind of situations and games throughout the season. You may see it a little bit in the San Francisco 49ers game. Who knows?
Sure.
Because of the talent level in that particular game. So I think it's going to be moment by moment. But that's my take on it. One last thing before I go, Paul. Johnny kind of stole my thunder about the Matt O'Leary Jet content creator. I mentioned it on the Jake Asman show. I wanted to get a little bit of your take on it. And if you're snapping, do you say zoinks when you snap?
100%. Right. Because like Peyton's Omaha. I'm like looking around, long snapper. Zoinks. And then it's almost like some level of what did he just say? And then perfect. It's a level of a distraction technique. 1,000%. There has to be almost like an action figure catchphrase. There's no doubt about it. I've never long snapped, but that I have played a lot of special teams in high school, so that is something I'm intimately familiar and comfortable with. Yes.
Awesome. That's great. Well, as always, great stuff. Great show. Love your stuff. You have a great day. Awesome.
Thank you,
Peace
Gio.
out.
Appreciate it, pal. And again, Sunday Shenanigans. Make sure you guys check out his YouTube channel. Jared B. Paul, what about Venom playing safety yesterday? And I know who you're referencing. That is Michael Nania. And I would just say, someone else said it better than I ever could on social media or on a Discord or something. they said the closest Nania has ever gotten to a football field is the Madden video game. So, if that's where he's putting him in at safety, just dandy with me. I enjoyed high school football. Those are the glory days, baby. I played running back and I played cornerback. Those are my two positions, two-way player, baby, plus played some special teams. So I loved it. Running back was my favorite position to play. Give a little shake and bake, a little bit of that action, huh? Maybe a little truck. Oh, I did that in practice once, and I lowered my helmet, just freaking trucked a dude, and then the guy was like, "What the hell, man? What the hell?" And it was us. And back in those days, we had 2-a-day summers, and we were there all friggin' day from like 9 in the morning till 6 at night or something. Apparently, they don't do any of that anymore for the most part, but 100%, just booyah. Absolutely delivering it. So, let's go. Yeah, Jared, it was safety. It was him and both of the Jets X Factor boys. I believe, if I'm remembering the roster right, was Robbie Sabo at one of the safety spots and Michael Nani at the other one. So, booyah, baby. Yeah, that's probably true. Sergeant CBS says, Boy Green, you're over 30 now. Those knees aren't what they used to be. But back in those days, when I trucked him, back in those days, I remember quite fondly. Now I just do like kind of announcing for football games. I let the football players on the field take care of the business now. But anywho, all right, let's go back to the phone lines. We've got NY Jets FL joining us here on the show. What's up, brother?
Morning, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I would say Michael Nadia for washing the jock straps. In the locker.
Hey, then someone needs to do that job. Water boy. There you go.
He can be useful in that regard. Couple things that other callers brought up. Oh, happy birthday to your father. I'm
there you go.
59 going on 45. So that's the way you gotta
That's
play
right.
it. First subject. Two of the most successful quarterbacks ever to play were not the most mobile, and I'm not saying that Rodgers is going to lose any of his athleticism. I'm not sure if he even will, and if he does, it'll be minimal.
Right.
His Achilles is supercharged now.
Yeah.
But I used to watch Peyton Manning play. He wasn't exactly the most athletic runner.
Definitely not.
And when he had to run, he was, he put his head down and did what he had to do. And of course, Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady is like,
of course,
awkward looking runner you could probably find, and he's just pre-snap and his arm and his brain took him to the other level. So people are nitpicking the whole thing, but the whole thing, Paul, with the Sauce Gardner thing, I just have flashbacks of CeeDee Lamb running wild in the secondary and dropping F-bombs in my living room, like, put Sauce on him. That had
100%.
Sauce shadowing Mark Andrews at some point to, when they played the Ravens.
That was his first game ever as a pro. I was at that game. I was up in the stands. They did some shadowing on Mark Andrews, and it worked out great. And I it's funny that you mentioned the Cowboys when I was at that game too. And I was saying it to myself, like, they picked on some of the zone coverage and moved him to the other side. And that's one of the big plays from the goal line when the Jets had the Cowboys backed up. CeeDee Lamb had this nasty in cut, and I'm like, but Sauce wasn't on him. It was DJ Reed. It was a miscommunication in zone. And I'm like, damn, man. Like, that's the things that frustrate me. So that's a great callback, exactly what we're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, and then also to the, David Njoku later, and I think that was the CJ
Right.
Mosley.
Yes.
That's a CJ Mosley thing. CJ. I mean, Njoku's a pretty good tight end, so I can't blame him. But we were getting exposed, and we were completely getting exposed by him, and yet we continued to let it happen. That's probably the most frustrating thing, knowing you have a guy like Sauce Gardner in the secondary who can make an incredible amount of plays despite the fact that he had 0 picks last year. Put him on the guy that's hot, even temporarily. Why are you so stubborn? Is the system that rigid that you can't run it, a different way for a few plays or anything like
Which
that?
is what it seems like from what Sala and Ulbrich and those guys have said publicly before yesterday, having a pivot or a change of heart. That's what they've said. Like, it's the system. And I'm like, the system can't be that good if you're so rigid you can't adapt to new things. That sounds Like, and not to crap on it. I mean, the stats and analytics, everything have been great on the defense. So that's why a lot of us have had to shut up. But boy, I'm appreciating some flexibility here.
Exactly. Especially when you're getting exposed, left and right, and horrendous quarterback. So you're going to let all that combined together tank your game and just let. I mean, the Cowboy game was probably the most frustrating thing that I've seen in a long time for the Jets. Just letting things bleed away, and you were there, Paul. I mean, just living it. One of my better friends is a Cowboy fan, so and I came in there saying, "Hey, man, we're gonna come in and beat you guys," and then CD goes off, and it was competitive for a little bit, but then we faded.
Yeah, Dak had an unbelievable game. His completion percentage was ungodly, and he just kept taking all the things that were there. So yeah, that one was frustrating. Oh God! And the Sauce Gardner drop pick 6. I'm never going to forget that for the rest of my life. From the angle I had of it was Dak, it was Sauce, it was me, and I'm seeing when Dak went to throw, I'm like, no friggin' way. How does he not see Sauce? And it's midair, and I'm jumping out of my seat already, like, yeah! And then I'm seeing Sauce, and then just, and I'm like, no! I was just crying. I was like, oh geez, that's a 14 points or more than that, because I think the Cowboys scored the touchdown and the 2-point conversion ultimately on that drive. So that's like a 15-point swing. But brutal.
Well, back to my original point, real quick.
Yes, right.
Rodgers injury, he can always dirt the ball. He can always throw it,
of course,
sail it head. He can always, slide. It's something that Zach Wilson could never do. So there are ways to protect yourself, right? You don't have to be 25-year-old Rodgers. You can be 40-year-old Rodgers, especially early in the season. Don't take a lot of big hits. Mm-hmm. Don't take a lot of risks. And if you have to put your head down and make plays and, do them in the appropriate times in the game, that's kind of I would do until you get comfortable. Then I think he's going to not be afraid at all.
Right.
Not that he's, what I mean?
Yeah.
Less cautious, more confident. Although that guy never lacks confidence. Another thing too, I gotta take the form because the last caller kept saying I have one more. If you're in that position in life and you're in a position in the NFL, you're gonna have to be able to take the bullets, right? Because BMAC was like, oh, what happens if he wants to be political, vice president one day? I mean, Rodgers is who he is. The guy's confident in everything he does, in life and in football. So, and that's what helped him get to this level. So if you're at that level, Paul, you're gonna have to take a lot of bullets, and he's got the greatest attitude about it.
Yeah,
he's his own man. That's about all I got, Paul. Hey, Paul, good luck this weekend.
I appreciate that. Thank you, pal.
Make sure it's accurate.
Yes, yeah, that's right. After that other story, yeah, that's what I'll do. If it's not what I want, I'm like, can we get a discount double check on that? Can we get an instant replay? Can we see on that? That's what I'll do. I appreciate that, buddy.
I felt bad about that call. I was like, oh, don't give Paul that story right now. maybe in the hospital delivery room you can tell him that story, but not now.
That's a good point. Thanks, buddy, for joining us. That's good. I will say let me try to think. What was that one thing I had from NY Jets FL? I will just say, oh yeah, and Jared B apparently was talking about Isaiah Oliver changing positions. By the way, I just think that's good for business. In case you missed it, Isaiah Oliver was the first move the Jets made this offseason. That was back on March 11th. It was a 1-year deal for like $2.5 million, and he's a longtime corner. He's played in the league for like 6 years. Exclusively has apparently played corner for my research and looking at the combine profile and stuff of his past, that he was just a corner. And think about this: when you look about the cornerback history or current roster, whatever, of Sauce Gardner, Michael Carter II, DJ Reed, you have those top three, which PFF ranked as the number one cornerback group in the entire NFL, the strongest group, and then you have Brandon Echols, who I think is really solid. And that's your top four. Where does Oliver fit in there? Outside of injury, he doesn't. So Oliver switching to safety makes a ton of sense. Yeah, Jeff Ulbrich, I did just finish the Jeff Ulbrich press conference beforehand, but I also heard of it before I watched the presser. They're flipping Isaiah Oliver from corner to safety. I think it makes a lot of sense. It gives him a better path to PT. And they just say from a skill set standpoint, it seems to really work out for him. So I think that makes a lot of sense. Jared B asks this follow-up question. Does that mean they're not happy with their safety room? I wouldn't say that at all. To be candid, I've heard a few people kind of ask that question, like, "Ooh, does that mean something else?" I don't think so. I think it's an individual Isaiah Oliver story. You got Tony Adams, who in my mind is one of your starters, and then the other one's up in the air between Chuck Clark, Ashton Davis, Jalen Key. Obviously, is in that mix potentially, and so is Isaiah Oliver now. So no, I just think it's just addressing the obvious. The obvious is Sauce Gardner, Michael Carter II, DJ Reader, your top three corners, and that's non-negotiable. And then maybe Oliver could have fought for Brandon Eccles' spot, but still, Eccles has shown a lot of chutzpah. That would take some impressive action for that to flip, to be honest with you. So, no, I don't think it's any indictment on the current safety room or anything of that nature. I don't, to be honest. I don't think so. But we will see what happens. I just think the safety room is more inexperienced / more questions. Chuck Clark coming off a torn ACL. Ashton Davis just signed a 1-year deal of no nothing. Jalen Key was Mr. Irrelevant. So, like, there's more questions. The cornerback room, there's no questions. We know exactly what the cornerback room is. So that's something as well. And then, yeah, Jared B mentions Bernard. Yeah, that's Jarek Bernard Converse, the kid who I loved when the Jets took him last year. He's a very intriguing player. Could play a little safety and corner and nickel. Like, man, he could kind of do it all. I don't know if he gets lost in the shuffle this year, but he was a player I was excited about last year. A lot of injuries, fell out of the mix. TBD. We'll see what happens there from that perspective. A couple other questions and we'll wrap up. Tio, any updates on how Michael Clemens looks so far? I just heard about the physicality and that he has really embraced the role of that intimidator. That's something Joe Douglas kind of bestowed upon him like a month ago, a bunch of weeks ago. And apparently Clemens has taken that from a physicality standpoint. Now, again, right now, relatively speaking, it's hard to get a good tell on trench warfare because you're not having guys in full pads banging against each other, offensive lineman to defensive lineman. So it is a little bit hard to get a great scope on it. But I love Michael Clemens. I think he's underrated by the fan base. I think we overrate or blow up or take out of proportion, whatever the right combination of words is, some of the bad from Clemens. And there has been. The Giants game, 4th down, jumps on the punt. Giants get to carve out a lot of clock. Now, Jets ultimately win that game, but that could have cost the Jets. So he's had a couple of dumb mistakes. He had the fights with the Bills and the Deion Dawkins thing and stuff like that. But he's also had great moments. The Packers punt block, that was Michael Clemens. He's had other moments that have popped in his career. So that to me is pretty interesting as well. Jerby, I did see that exchange. Connor Hughes, so from their perch, all these reporters, I believe, are on, like, the players are on the field and they're up on a perch, like it's like a 2-house. It's like a second story to a house. That's where all the reporters are watching the practice. And Connor Hughes takes a picture of Jermaine Johnson, goes, wow, he looks heavier, 2 pound, or let me rephrase it. He's like, wow, Jermaine Johnson looks leaner, is what he says. He's like, oh, wow, looks leaner. Interesting. And Jermaine Johnson sees the tweet, says, actually, I gained 2 pounds. And then Connor Hughes had another response in his article saying, yeah, I know Jermaine said that, but maybe, muscle to fat and what it weighs and shredded and stuff like that, which was kind of funny. So, hey, either way, as long as Jermaine Johnson's looking good, that's good news, which we'll see. Tio says, I thought he's talking about Michael Clemens, got a little too heavy, which neutralizes speed and effectiveness. Again, that kind of goes back to, this was what happened to Henry Anderson in Indianapolis. The team then was switching from either a 4-3 to a 3-4 or 3-4 to 4-3, and they asked him to cut a bunch of weight or add a bunch of weight. Either way, I can't remember the exact way, but he gets traded to the Jets, and then it made him ineffective, and then he comes to Jets and has a little pop and ends up getting that big deal that he flops out on. But sometimes you ask a player to shift. I am imagining they're going to make him keep the weight on because JFM was a bigger boy. And a guy like Hassan Reddick, who Rich Samini asked about this, I'll tweet out that clip later. But like a guy like Hassan Reddick, weight-wise, is a lot smaller. So they're going to need a beefier guy, unless Likey Fotu takes that over or – yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what they end up doing from a body perspective on Michael Clemens. That I'm unsure about. That I'm not sure about. But we'll see. And yeah, so yep, I answered the Isaiah Oliver question. Yep, and yes, All right, beautiful. Okay, I want to make sure I got to all those questions. All right, thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks to the 300 plus people in the room for Boy Green Daily. Again, we got a couple of great guests coming up on the show. Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic joins us tomorrow morning live here on Boy Green Daily. We might start a little bit late or I'll come on early because Zach will join us around 7:45 tomorrow morning. He's got to do a little bit of travel before the show starts. So maybe we'll come on at 7:30 and then Zach will just join us at 7:45. And Antoine Staley of the New York Daily News. I'm just taking a peek at my schedule. Antoine Staley of the New York Daily News comes up on Friday. And then my father is supposed to be live on Saturday. Should be a lot of fun. To the 300 people live, like the video, hit subscribe, baby. Show your support to the friggin' channel. And, or if you want to take the extra step, feel free to join the Boy Green Superfan Club, baby. Help support the channel every single day. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you tomorrow morning for Boy Green Daily. Take care.